Hey everybody, Dr. Nelson here. This is a video about squares of binomials. So for the first two pages, you're going to follow along with me and take some notes. And then there's going to be a chance for you to try some problems on your own. And then at the end, you can see how you did. Alright, so let's first look at this first problem. We have a square, and the length is 3, and the width is a 3. So I can say the area of the square is going to be 3 squared, which also equals 9. So let's say if it was 3 inches by 3 inches, the area would be 9 square inches. Here we have x plus y times x plus y. So again, we can see the area is going to be an x plus y squared. But now to get the actual area, let's you have to use FOIL to multiply x plus y times x plus y. So let's do this. So we know the product of the first two terms, x times x, is going to be an x squared. We know the product of the last two terms, y times y, is y squared. We multiply the outside terms, x times y is an xy. And multiply the inside terms, x times y is another xy. And to simplify this, I can add these middle two terms together, which are the same, right? So this is going to be an x squared plus 2xy plus a y squared. Okay, so we squared the term x plus y. All right, here we have x plus 3 times x plus 3. So to find the area, we would do x plus 3 squared. So we're going to square the binomial x plus 3. So again, let's go with FOIL. So the first term, x times x, is x squared. The last term, 3 times 3, is 9. The outside term, 3 times x, is going to be a 3x. The inside term, again, 3 times x is going to be a 3x. And we end up with x squared plus, now notice these two middle terms are both 3x's. So plus 6x and then plus a 9. So what I want you to do is look at the two examples that we just did. All right, the example here and also the example here. Okay, notice that we added these two middle terms, okay, for both expressions. That's a key characteristic of squaring a binomial. So if you turn the page, let's take a look at these. Okay, so here I'm going to kind of show you kind of a faster way of squaring a binomial. And again, I broke it down to 3 steps. So step number 1, and we have the problem 2x plus 5 squared. So we could write that out as 2x plus 5 times 2x plus 5. But there's a much faster way of doing it. So what you do is we're going to first square the first term. So the first term, so 2x times 2x is 4x squared. Part 2, twice the product of the two terms. Well, 2x times 5 gives us 10x. And if I double that, we're going to get now 20x. And then finally, square the last term. Well, 5 times 5 is 25. And now we add them together. So it's going to be a 4x squared plus 20x plus 25. Okay? And there it is. Now let's actually multiply these two out the long way to see that we get this. So if we do FOIL, 2x times 2x gives us 4x squared. The last terms, 5 times 5 gives us the 25. And now if we multiply the inside terms and the outside terms, well, 5 times 2x is 10x. 5 times 2x is 10x. If I combine them, we get the 20x. And look at that. This right here is the same as right here. All right, so the goal here is anytime I want you to square a binomial, just follow these 3 steps and you can do that. All right, let's try this one. So step 1, it says square the first term. So 3x squared is going to be a 9x squared. Twice the product of the two terms. So 3x times negative 2 is going to be a negative 6x. And negative 6x times 2 is going to be a negative 12x. And then square the last term. Negative 2 times negative 2 is going to give us a 4. And now put them all together. So it's going to be 9x squared minus 12x, and then plus a 4. And there it is. So again, if you follow these 3 steps, you can square a binomial fairly quickly. So what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video and try the your turn problems now. And then when you're done, hit play. And you can see how you did. All right, good luck. All right, welcome back. Let's say you did with squaring these binomial problems. Okay, so the directions say write each square as a trinomial. So step 1, we have to square the first term. So 5x times 5x is going to be a 25x squared. Second step, we multiply the 2 terms together. So 5x times 7 is 35x, and we double it. So that's going to be a plus a 70x. And then last, we take the second term and we square it, and that's going to be plus 49, and there it is. The next one, 2x squared plus 5 squared. So if I take the square of the first one, so 2x squared times 2x squared, that'll give us 4x to the 4th. Next step, 2x squared times 5 is 10x squared. If I double it, we get 20x squared. And then finally, 5 times 5 will give us a 25. And there it is. All right, the next one. This one's a little bit different because we have a subtraction sign there, so you gotta be careful. So the square of 8y, so 8y times 8y is 64y squared. The second part, we do 8y times negative 3, which is negative 24y, and we double it, so we get negative 48y. And then finally, we take the last term, negative 3, and we square it. So negative 3 times negative 3 is a positive 9. And there it is. All right, and then the last one, well, 7x squared times 7x squared will be 49x to the 4th. 7x squared times a negative 9 is going to be 63. Well, 63 times 2 will be 126. So it's going to be minus 126x squared. And then negative 9 times negative 9 gives us a 81. And there it is.